Alright, we can get started. I'll set up talk power.
Your channel was
And you can
edited.
PM, I guess Shanks is still AFK, so you can PM right, because that guy is now doing recording stuff,
Your channel was edited.
if you have a question. So let's get started. I think Serpo had a question, so I will unmute him first. Serpo, if you want to ask your question.
All right. Well, the biggest question is, do you all have plans to advertise and try to raise the player base a little bit in 5?
So we're still
User
in
left
the
your
beta
channel.
period, so the idea of raising
User
the
was
player
moved
base
out
is
of your
just going to be
channel.
continuing to implement features that everyone wants to see. We see a lot of people have interest in the community still. It's just we have to get more features pushed out, so that's what we're going to basically be focusing on to do that. We're also running a few different ads as well on different platforms, and we want to do a YouTube ad as well once we have a little bit more features that we can showcase. That'd be kind of cool.
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds good. And another question while we're on the subject of features: are the features eventually going to be kind of close to what they were in
User
the
in your
MTA
channel
server?
timed out.
I guess they're gonna have like a bit of a twist on them because it's a whole different platform, but it's probably just following what's the highest priority that you guys have been submitting in script suggestions. There's like a few critical stuff like the bugs with dimension and stuff like that that we're working on right now, and some of the character customization, which isn't something that we really have on MTA either, but those are things that most people want to see, so that's what we've been focusing on. Yeah, we're working on the anime stuff, stuff.
Yeah, I was actually on last night with Daniels. We were doing like a whole bunch of testing and fixing with all the animations, so there's like a lot of stuff related to animations that's being fixed right now.
Right. All right. Well, that's it for me for now. So.
Cool, thanks. Anyone else have any questions to ask? And yeah, we plan to develop more on MTA, or more than what MTA has on V. I want to address also MTA, since I know it would probably come up. We're going to keep the server running, as I said many times, as long as people want to play it, but I have no plans on actively adding new features to it personally. People want to, they can. I think Unit still has been doing some stuff with it, but our focus is on V. The community's focus should be also on V. And yeah, we're going to make an inactivity scanner as well. Why would makeup be at a barber shop? Do you want to have talk power, little peep?
Well, where do you
already,
recommend that we put makeup then?
well, we already announced that we're working on the character customizations, but I don't think it makes sense to be at a barber shop. I don't know where it'll go though.
It would be easier for centralization, but
User in your
ideally it would
channel
be
timed
somewhere
out.
like where you would be able to. It makes sense.
Well, like from a script perspective, it'd probably make the most sense if we did it at the clothing shop, because that's where you would add hat accessories and like sunglasses and stuff like that already, so we could just do it there. But
User joined your channel.
The idea is that they can change, if you have a custom character, you'll be able to do plastic surgery on them to change them in like some smaller ways. But if you did the pre-made character, you're not gonna be able to adjust those, as far as I know. That'd be a whole different like face structure and everything, which wouldn't make much sense.
I'm gonna unmute Zebulon. There you go. Should
Hey,
try
what
now.
up? So my questions are more around kind of faction features. Obviously, it goes without saying that factions like PD are the highest population. So
User
in my
joined your
mind, it would
channel.
make sense to prioritize some features for PD. But one of the things I notice, obviously, is like the badge system, and how that may or may not be able to be addressed. Because if it can't be addressed, then you have potential of a lot of like metagaming and this and that, and or any features like being able to customize your skin when you're playing as a law enforcement officer, so that people are playing detectives who aren't necessarily wearing a badge on them, easily visible. Then being able to do that would be like MTA a lot better than the badge system that we have right now.
That'd probably just be a script suggestion, but I'm pretty sure that's a pretty low priority right now, honestly. There's just other stuff that more people would benefit from.
Yeah, no, of course. I think there's obviously a balance there, but I guess what is the priority on that kind of stuff? Just because I believe that since a lot of the player base plays a cop character at one point or another, it would make sense to me that major factions like that are prioritized in terms of features.
Yeah, the badge thing is something that we want to rework. But yeah, I don't have an estimated time for you if that's what you're looking for.
No, not an estimated time, just making sure it's on the radar.
Yeah, it's definitely on the radar. It's on we have an internal Trello where we kind of stack things and base priority. It's on that list as well, so we're not going to forget about it.
Yeah, and Dr. Evil just linked the custom uniform packs for EUP Law and Order 8.0. Yeah, I'm not sure how easy those things are added to Rage though.
Well, like a mod pack definitely is like not going to happen super soon because there's so much that already exists in V that we could just add more custom skins to, or add at least more options to change out your torso and stuff like that. But yeah, like maybe in the future, something like that.
Cool. That's all I had.
I'll unmute, or I'll give Foster talk power because he asked, "Are there any plans for MTA?" We addressed that prior. I don't know if you're here, but I'll let you ask if you have any more questions. Should be able to talk now. Foster? Oh, okay. Well, Chaos mentioned earlier, we're gonna have the server up for MTA as long as people continue to play. But we're gonna be shifting development to V because that's the future of the community, really. And that's where the most interest is currently. You're welcome. Yeah, should be
User
able to talk,
disconnected
Webster.
from your channel.
Yeah, so I think people just want to know like when things such as phones and stuff are going to have more of a GUI. Obviously, I presume it's pretty low priority because obviously we're trying to fix bugs and stuff. But like people would like a better phone system so they can meet up with their friends and everything. Because at the moment, everyone's having to like screenshot their numbers and save them on Discord and stuff just so they can give them to people I see and stuff. Because obviously it's really long and you can't save contacts at the moment.
Yeah, I agree. That's something that's pretty high priority. I think we have a new person that we brought on that's doing UI work. I think that would be a pretty good project for that person to start getting working on right away, actually. I will message him about that. But yeah, I think that we should have a sort of a rework phone system. I know that also Yannick was taking a look at it. I'm not sure what his status is on that as well. I'll have to message him later.
User
Awesome.
joined your channel.
Did you want to go more in depth on that, Salsa?
Basically, I was just wondering if the vanilla GTA 5 weapon attachment system is something that's being considered or looked into. Obviously, it's not high priority, but you know that would be a fairly cool feature to have. So I don't know if that's like something that's currently being worked on or even considered. So
I think that'd be pretty cool. It's not worked on right now, but I agree that would be definitely something that would be pretty sweet to have in the future.
like flashlights and
Yeah, and like the
suppressors
laser
and things.
pointers
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Well, the great thing about V is there's really no limitations to what we can do in the future, right? Since it's an entirely new platform.
I don't know how something like an extended mag from vanilla GTA 5 would work with our ammo script, but that would be something that would be cool as well. You can just have extended mags.
Yeah. Currently on our back end, in our discussions, it's been laid out, that idea to have weapon attachments in the future. So it's on our roadmap eventually.
All right, cool.
All right, go ahead, Zebulon.
This kind of meets 2 points, but obviously we're still in beta, and it's more about fixing features and bugs. But there's obviously a playability feature that is important to get people on the server and get them playing and finding those bugs or suggesting new scripts. One thing that I noticed was really kind of broken at the beginning, and I know that guy was kind of looking into it to a degree, was the vehicles were kind of all fucking sideways in terms of pricing and fuel consumption and fuel costs. Um, is there any plans to kind of examine how a balanced economy can be built, or injecting money into the system so that people who are willing to RP businesses to give people better employment than just running a fucking post van around? Is that anywhere on the radar?
So, like, what's your question specifically? You said about making a balanced economy?
Well, kind of balancing the economy or creating some kind of economy, but also fixing key things that play into the economy, like vehicles, which were pretty broken at the beginning.
Like, you mean for their prices, right?
Prices, fuel consumption, all that kind of stuff.
Right. That stuff is, yeah, just getting tweaked as we go. I'm not sure there's much else we can do other than keep iterating and improving on
And
what those prices and fuel consumptions were. I know that the scripted jobs as well, were kind of like paying you nothing, so those were also adjusted.
are
If
the
you have any suggestions, I'd be happy to hear it.
yeah, of course. Was there anything? Is there any like admin ability to modify vehicles in terms of like their speed or handling, like there was an MTA?
There's the possibility to do it, yeah, but we don't have any like in-game ability for right now. Right now they're just all the stock
Stock
related
models.
ones.
Gotcha.
But it would be cool to have it kind of globally adjusted.
User joined your channel.
Because there's lots of like older vehicles in V that are super overpowered and stuff like that that just don't fit the model. It'd be nice to actually have those tweaked, and then we could price a little bit more realistically. Because right now we have to, like, if it's an older looking vehicle, we still have to price it pretty expensive because the acceleration stuff is so ridiculous. That's just how GTA Online has all their vehicles, but yeah, that would help too, I guess.
Yeah, I just know that vehicles play a huge part in the economy because there's always people buying and selling and trading.
User disconnected from your
But
channel.
generally speaking, right now there's not really a lot of options for people to. Well, I know the script jobs are fixed, but ideally, I'm sure UAT doesn't want people actually playing the script jobs. They'd rather have them going to like an in-character business and being employed. So, is there any? I mean, obviously, you still have the VM system, I presume, but But beyond that, is there any thoughts of like kind of injecting money into the system so that people don't have to, or people who are opening a business kind of get like a, I guess like a starter pack or something along those lines? Oh, okay. Cool. Right on. Yeah, I gotcha. And I have some script suggestions that I'll just make for law enforcement because I think they're, like I said, important to the playability of the server, especially when you have bad guys and good guys for the most part making the majority of the player base.
Yeah, we really want to encourage people to just like do whatever they want. So honestly, if you have an idea, just contact us and we can probably work something out.
And I just had, I guess, another question. I know that in MTA we had like that note system, and you can like put notes on interiors and vehicles and all that kind of stuff for roleplay tracking. So what's the best process to go about that now? So let's say I had a piece of property that I want to install video cameras on. Would I just be taking screenshots of my roleplay, or how would that stuff be submitted and marked?
Yeah, so you could do the role play or have an admin supervise the role play and send them proof. And there's still check interior and check vehicle that the admins can add notes to. So it's communicated in that way, at least to other admins. But
Cool.
to communicate to other players, it's more difficult. But yeah, if we're trying to think, I don't remember if we have a way to add just like generic items into the world right now. That would be pretty cool because then we could add the cameras at least, so they would be seen by other players. But yeah, there's still ways that it can get done right now, at least to be recorded with other admins. So, and Bub's
Cool.
asked about the ATMs and fuel points. Dex, you added some of the coordinates, right? I think I just have to like enter them to the script. So okay, that can kind of just be done whenever. Then it could be done right now, honestly. No problem.
All right, that's all my questions.
We already have like support on the UCP and on B, like the type of already exists, but we want to add a revive system like we have in MTA right now, where you're stuck on the dead screen until you hit respawn. That would have to come first, and then we could look into the CK stuff. We haven't really had much requests for CKs, like actual uses for it yet, so it's been a little bit lower on the priority list. Yeah, bodies would be cool. I'd have to look into that. Could probably
Yeah, I guess it's
spawn
just,
dead
I guess it's just
pets.
another thing to go into, like, you know, your emergency services role play well, like especially if someone gets murdered, and there's no way to add generics. There's really no way to tell that there was ever a body there, etc. So
Yeah.
kind of breaks the whole investigation
We
chain.
have to. We'll probably do a bit of community discussion around that as well, because if we're going to allow like body looting, or if we want to do the exact same system as we have in MTA or what. So kind of cool.
You can take away my talk power, by the way. I don't need it anymore.
Any other questions that I can answer? Or anything anybody wants to discuss? Been trying really hard to work on the script as much as we can, especially with school and work starting up again, but here, Ben, you have talk.
User disconnected from your
Hello?
channel.
All right.
Hello.
So there's no sort of like shying away from the activity on the server at the minute. It is somewhat questionable. I'm not going to sit here and sort of
User
like
joined your
speculate
channel.
why it might be questionable at the minute, but maybe like a reward system will be put in place to sort of encourage people to be on the server and sort of contribute, or at least like maybe reward the ones that are, being dedicated enough to sit there and try and encourage people to come on. So I'm sort of maybe thinking like, GCs for per period of time, I suppose, something like that. I mean, what are the thoughts around that?
Yeah, so I did do at least the streaming one recently, where you can get paid GCs to stream. But
Yeah.
having people online and paying GCs could be done. I was actually going to talk a bit about that. I'm going to be doing a sale of GCs starting today as well. We're trying to keep the lights on, so I'm also trying to not give away too many GCs at the same time.
Yeah.
So especially if I were to do a sale and then also offer free GCs, I'm probably not going to see much in the sale either. And there are server bills to pay. So if there's any other suggestions that might be applicable, that would be cool. But yeah, depends on how the sale goes. If after the sale, we're looking a little bit better finance wise, then then I'd be totally down to do something like that.
That's it really. It's just thinking of ways. I mean, other people could really sort of add on to this, but it's just ways of encouraging people to be on the server so they can encourage other people to come on, because obviously that's how it's working at the minute. And
Yeah.
it's sort of really appreciated for the people who do that, and it's helping the server out a lot.
And yeah, so starting today, I'm gonna do a sale for GCs for about a week. I'll make an announcement post as well when it goes live specifically, but if anybody would like to contribute, that would be appreciated.
Indian said having a system that kicks people from farming paychecks would be a good idea.
Yeah, I could come with there's not like in MTA there's a way to easily detect inactivity. There's not in V, so we'd have to make our own, but yeah, definitely.
And that's a good idea as well. So also you should make a script suggestion on the Mantis for that.
On the
Thank you.
forums, he means, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's something I wanted to kind of discuss with the community too, because that's a polarizing thing, is if you should allow looting of bodies, especially if they have like legal weapons, stuff like that. Those can be stolen, and what that would mean for the server economy. But yeah.
And if you guys think of anything after this meeting, Q&A, you could do script suggestions as well on the forums.
Thanks for the streams lately, by the way. Those have been cool to watch. If anybody else wants to do some videos for Owl, let me know. You get some GCs in return and stuff like that.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I am planning on making a tutorial for modding Rage. So like if you want to have like a custom textures for certain guns or certain vehicles, or like let's say a sound pack or an ENB, it's a little bit more complicated than just installing it into 5. So I'm planning on because I was scouring the internet for a guide on how to fucking do it, and I just figured it out. So if anyone's interested, I'm gonna be posting that like probably sometime later this week. Just
I saw a few people asking in like Discord and stuff
User
how
disconnected from
how
your
to install
channel.
AMBs and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm sure people would like to see that.
yeah, but that was basically it. Just wanted to put that out there.
Cool.
User joined your channel.
Any other questions we can answer? We wanted to do the more events like the yacht party stuff too. That was awesome. If anybody like, again, this doesn't have to be always UAT ran. Like anybody can run an event if you just contact us for like if you need money or a location or whatever to run the event, just let us know and like we can easily set that up. Like the yacht event was basically ran by Bubs and Melody anyways, so it wasn't us. Yeah, as Bubs said, drag event tomorrow. But that reminds me, I was gonna make, I don't know if there's any interest for it. I was gonna make a channel on Discord for like IC events and stuff like that and adverts, so you could post when events are, or like if you're selling your vehicle to try and get people
User
online
left
and
your
stuff like
channel.
that. Kind of a cool idea. Yeah, there might be a way, Melody. There might be a way to set up a bot to do that. And yeah, that's true, Bubs. We could even do a script feature that automatically posts ads to the channel. There's something way back in the pipeline as well that we talked about, which would be cool to have if you link your Owl account to Discord. You can get notified in Discord if, like, say your house is broken into. If you had like a security system installed, you get notified about that, or like a vehicle getting broken into and stuff like that to kind of urge you to get in game. Kind of a cool thing we were thinking about doing too. That guy, do you want to respond to Serpo? Or there, Bubs, got it. If anybody knows C#, let me know. We're looking for more people to help with development as well. Units is slowly learning. Good question, Bubs. I will open up our Trello and answer that. But right now, we're also, like I mentioned earlier, working on more character customization stuff, so clothing related and makeup and stuff like that. That's something that people have been asking about quite a bit. We want to work on the inactivity scanner and adding more gas stations on the priority list, tattoos. Oh, and there's issues with the credit system that we want to fix, so we could allow greater down payments to reduce that monthly cost that people seem to get, which seems to be a little bit ridiculous right now. So that was something that we have on the radar as well.
Because a lot of people want custom music, like a lot. So
It would help with the atmosphere too in clubs and etc.
Bubs, did you just fall asleep before the meeting? He was online earlier. Actually, you're muted, but yeah. Good night.
User disconnected from your channel.
Peep, it just depends on like
User left your channel.
how many features that we push out. There's no like date on it. It'll just, once we get to a point where the players are comfortable with features that we have and are able to roleplay without too many blockers, we'll probably just take it out of beta. Daniels has, I don't know if any of you are familiar with VG, but Daniels has some insight on that as well. When he first launched VG back in the day, after they had their beta, they had just like 0 players on as well. That's sort of just how it worked. They didn't have as many features that people wanted, and slowly they started gaining more and more traction. So we're hoping the same thing happens with us.
Well, as long as we keep developing features. I mean, people have said too, that came over from GTA World to try the script. They said it has great potential. It's even better than GTW or GTA World right now. Just that it's not completely polished, and they need more polishing before that they come over here with their friends because they're established there.
Yeah. So that's what we're just trying to do. And as I said, we're looking to extend our scripting team for more C# developers. Right now, we extended it to have a UI developer that came on. recently, and Yannick and units have been working on learning to try and move over, and Eloquent is also working on V stuff as well as UCP stuff with us.
Caleb had a question that I forwarded to Chaos.
Yeah, I don't really know the answer to that. It would just probably just be a Mantis bug if that's what it is.
Alright, Caleb, I'll message you privately.
It's such an easy thing to do, but it's just like we've just been focusing on the bigger picture type stuff. Like it's literally adding one line into different areas of the script to add more and more logging. Most of the weapon bugs have been resolved. I'm not sure that guy was still holding off in some cases. That guy, do you have any comment on that? I think Eloquent was going to be working on the MDC, but he's been moving recently.
User joined your channel.
Caleb, we kind of commented on that. It's super, like, it's possible, and we want to add more vehicle customization. That's sort of like another thing that lots of people have been asking for, along with character customization. So right now we're focusing on the character customization side of things, and then I would assume we might start looking at the vehicle side of things. We can add more of those mods. There's no plan to have a vehicle team. I think it's just mainly going to be up to players to modify their vehicles rather than going through the team. I think we're going to be like a little bit more RPG-ish on that side of things, where you can buy modifications and install them. There's not going to be a whole lot of oversight that you do super good roleplay to do the installation. But at the same time, that makes it easier for players, and it's a little bit more fun that way, I think. So, kind of vehicle team was sort of something we didn't like how it was operating in MTA, so we're trying to change that.
User disconnected from your channel.
Yannick actually messaged me today that he was looking at doing the cruise control. So message him, Melody. it's good if you actually message him about that, because it sort of makes him feel like people really want it and helps him motivate. So if that's really all the questions we got, we can sort of call the meeting to an end. I'll be posting a recording of this as well on the forums.